Good morning, dear students. I hope you are all fine. And we are studying the subject bank management. We have already discussed in the first part of this video what is banking and its definition, the structure, the types of banks, the ownership of banks. We have studied in detail. And in the second video, we are going to discuss elaborately kind of banks, how it is classified, why, because it is classified based on the activities of the banks, based on the functions of the banks. It is classified. Okay, the first classification is commercial banks. Why do you say that it is a commercial bank? A bank is a commercial bank. Why? It is because of the commercial activities. What are the commercial activities? Trading, warehousing, transporting. So these are all the commercial activities, etc. There are various activities. For all these commercial activities, the bank gives support, the bank gives loan, the bank gives money. Does the bank give long-term money, long-term loan? No. What does the bank support? The bank gives only short-term loan. In other words, the bank disperses the working capital. What do you mean by working capital? Working capital is the money which is useful and helpful for running a business, not for starting a business, not for establishing a business, not for going for establishment of fixed assets or erecting the buildings and machineries. No, the working capital is the money which is useful, needed to run a business. So the commercial bank gives working capital to the industries, to the business people to run a business, so that the commercial activity is boosted up, so that the money is earned, so that the economy is growing up. So this is what the commercial activity. So these activities are taken up by the commercial banks. Since the commercial activities are taken up by the banks, which are called commercial banks. And now we will discuss about the industrial bank or investment bank. So by the name itself, we can find out what is the function of the particular industrial bank or investment bank. So what does this bank do? This bank does the activity of helping the industries by giving a long-term loan. Long-term loan to industries, long-term loan to any factories. So those type of activities are undertaken by the industrial bank or investment bank. So they also help the companies by underwriting shares. By underwriting shares, they help the companies to run the business. And these banks, they do and they try to sell the shares to the public, by which they enable the particular industries to run the business efficiently and effectively. So thus this presence of investment bank, industrial bank, help the industrial people to run the industries efficiently. So they also mobilize long-term deposits. The banks are also responsible for the development of backward areas by promoting industries in those places. So this industrial bank will try to help the industrial people to start factories, to start industries in in all the areas, especially in the areas where the, the industry is not started. So by starting a industries, by helping the industrial people to start the industries, in indirectly they help for employment, they help for entrepreneurship, they help for income circulation, income generation. So, so this is what the function of the industrial bank. So since it is helping the industrial people, since it is investing a lot of money on the industries, these banks are called industrial bank or investment banks. Now we will discuss about the cooperative bank. What do you mean by cooperative bank? See, the cooperative bank, the function of the cooperative bank is to help the weaker sections of the society, especially people who are economically downtrodden, especially the agricultural laborers, especially people who who are you know who are agricultural coolies and who survive with a meager amount of money, and those people are helped. Those people at the very less interest, they are helped, so that they are able to run their family, they are able to survive, they are able to effectively run the agricultural work. In India, we have these cooperative banks operating in rural and semi-urban areas, providing enormous loans to the people in rural areas. So those people, they are in need of money. So when they are given money at the less interest, they are able to multiply their money. They are able to earn money. So that is why this cooperative bank is established, to help the economically weaker section of the society, especially people who are in rural areas, who are in very backward areas. For those people, these types of banks are established. So the cooperative bank, the aim of the cooperative bank, the function of the cooperative bank is to help the economically poor people. And fourth one, agricultural development bank. Okay, what is it? This is also similar to the cooperative bank, but these banks help by providing loans to the weaker sections of the society, weaker section of the agricultural people. So they also provide, like industries, they provide long term loan to the industrial people. These agricultural banks, they provide long term loans to the agricultural people. So what type of banking activities are done, what type of functions are there in the agricultural development bank? First one, to purchase new land. So they help the farmers to purchase new land and to purchase heavy agricultural machinery such as tractor. Now different types of machineries are found, modern equipments are there for agricultural farming. And to repayment of old debt, suppose they are they are stuck up with the old debt and they are not able to start a new business, start a new agriculture work. So they are stumbled, so their old debt is solved and they are able to again start the agricultural work, and by which they can earn money and settle the loan gradually. That is why the bank is supporting to pay back the old debt, and of course soil conservation and land reclamation. For that purpose, this type of banks help the agricultural farmers. So this bank is promoting growth of agriculture, so that is why it is called agricultural development bank. In Tamil Nadu, it is called Tamil Nadu Cooperative Land Development Bank. And fifth one, savings bank. Have you ever heard this bank? Ever heard this word savings bank? You might have heard savings account, but savings bank, have you ever heard this term? You might not have heard, but if anybody has started a savings account in post office, you can know this, and you can know this type of banks. This is what called the savings bank. Though there is no separate no savings bank as savings bank, but we have this bank in post office. So the purpose of this bank is to encourage people to save more, to save the money. The bank accepts even small amounts for the purpose of savings. At the same time, the savings bank discourages people to withdraw money from their account for many times. They restrict the withdrawal times, withdrawal slips. So it does discourage the people not to take money, not withdraw money from their account. So by which they encourage people to save their money and to avoid unnecessary spending. So by which the bank encourages saving mentality, saving attitude, and it promotes saving attitude you know to the people. So this bank's activity is to encourage saving, is to help the people save their money even in the smaller amounts. Even in smaller amounts, if you are going and depositing your money to the banks, they are ready to get your money. They are ready to accept your money as a deposit. By which it encourages saving. So that is why by this activity of encouraging saving, this bank is called as classified as savings bank. And sixth type of the bank is foreign banks or exchange banks. What does it mean? Banks which are established or incorporated outside the country but doing banking business in India are called foreign banks or exchange banks. What do they do? They provide foreign exchange subject to the rules and regulations of the country in which they are located. According to the rules and regulations of the country, they have to do everything. They help in exports and imports. The exporter will be able to receive his payment without much delay when he processes his trade documents through exchange banks. So exchange bank helps as a middleman, is a mediator, for the importer and the exporter. So that is the bank which helps. It helps the importers and exporters very easily. The process is very easy. They are able to transfer the documents. They are able to transfer money. They are able to get the loan. They are able to do everything. So the foreign you want to do any business, yes, that foreign bank is very helpful here, which is located, which is the branch of the particular foreign bank is helping the importer or the exporter to move the money, to move the document. Everything is easy. So the importer is also is able to get the letter of credit, the guarantee for importing goods, everything. So these banks incredibly are helpful for the activities of import and export. So that is why these types of bank are called as exchange banks or foreign banks. Last but not the least, seventh kind of bank is central bank, the leader of all the banks, one who is controlling all the banks, one who has all power, one who has authority over all the types of banks, all the kinds of banks, is called central bank. It not only controls the banks but also protects by helping them whenever they are in difficulty, whenever they are in problems. The central bank is also responsible for controlling the price level. It has the authority to issue money. It also maintains the foreign exchange reserve. So through this, it controls the exchange rate. The development of banking industry in any country depends on the efficiency of the central bank. The central bank helps the government by providing loans whenever they are in difficulty. It maintains the government account. Whenever the government is in need of funds, it can raise loan through the central bank by issuing treasury bills in the money market. So central bank is responsible for the smooth running of an economy. It controls, it helps the government, it helps the economic growth. So it is the leader as well as it is the custodian of all the banking activities in the country. So dear friends, so we have discussed in this video kinds of banks. So we have discussed 7 kinds of banks. I hope you have understood the details of the banking system. Thank you for watching this video.